Hi, I'm singer-songwriter and multimedia artist Nona Hendryx, and you're watching The Artist Forum.
Welcome to the Artist Forum. My name is Bill Coleman. I'm your host tonight, and it is my esteemed pleasure to welcome Nona Hendryx to our stage.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, how are you?
I am excellent.
Hi. I'm very happy to be interviewing you tonight. You are one of my spirit animals, and I appreciate all that you've done for music over the last number of decades.
Yes.
You've worked with so many amazing people, and your career continues to flourish and morph, and you are a chameleon. And to me, it's just amazing that you are still here. You are still present and current and doing your thing.
Thank
Welcome.
you. That's a big mouthful about me, but thank you. Thank you.
You are one of the few people that, to me, I think of you. You were, like, to me, the mother of reinvention. And I equate you very much like David Bowie, who just passed, who was constantly reinventing himself musically, artistically. To me, you embody the same sort of spirit and artistry of someone of that, of him. And it's very funny. I have my own, and for me, I think of you from girl group to gigabyte, because I know you love technology. True. And your history has been one that you've been in girl groups in the 60s. Yes. You were in a soul funk group, yes. LaBelle, which is very heralded, that everybody loves so much. You've done so many things in your own solo music career and worked with a variety of people, from Prince and Jamie Lewis and Bernie Worrell, Talking Heads, etc., so on and so forth. And you're a multimedia artist, and it's great to see that you're constantly kind of feeding the machine, so to speak. Yes. Why don't you tell me about some of the things that you're doing right now with technology? You have an audio tutu, I believe, that you are working on at the moment. Tell us about that.
The audio tutu is a plexiglass wearable sound system that I wear, and it's shaped like a tutu, and it has built-in monitors, so I can filter my voice through it, or other sounds, a guitar, keyboard, anything that you can plug in. It has an additional little outside I/O box to plug in sounds, and I have an additional box to that to affect some of the things. And it was created by an artist from Germany. Actually, he's American, French, and living in Germany. His name is Benoit Marbury. Okay. And I was looking for something that I could wear and that I could also put my voice through. And all I could find was like these Nike sweat jackets and things that had, microphones built into them. And it was like, no, that's not going to do it. And I came across his website and was like, oh my God, there he is. This is the person I need. Wow. And I got in touch with him, and he built one for me, and that set me off onto another path of working with young students from Berklee College of Music, where I'm an ambassador, and working with a student, Taka Hiko, and we designed a what I call the wave glove, which I use to control my voice and to add reverb using bend sensors, and delay, phase, and making my voice go faster, slowing it down.
Wow, it sounds almost like a. For some reason, I'm getting the vision of like a theremin, or how a theremin works, but not. I know it's not, but not. Just
yes.
Okay.
But it's an actual glove. It looks like some sort of a futuristic thing that has lights and stuff on it, and I control the effect through through the computer. Mm-hmm. My voice goes through it, and I can change the sounds of and it also just sort of feeds on itself, and it becomes these other sounds that's never been heard before, wow. And you won't hear again because it's feedback. And mm-hmm. So that, and then I work with 2 students from Valencia, Spain, who are Berkeley students, graduates, and we've just finished developing a audio bodysuit, so I can trigger things from my different parts of my body.
I have a vague recollection of Laurie Anderson experimenting with some sort of musical suits back in the day as well. Is this kind of a...
This is a step forward.
Step forward.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, yeah. Nice. And it's, there's a couple other things that I worked with students on to develop, and a lot of it is about me looking at where I want to go with technology and finding a different way of performing, because I've performed so long, and in so many areas of music, so many genres, that at some point I go, well, I can't go on the stage with my band again and do that again. I need something else. I need to find another place. And these, finding performance, working with technology has allowed me to explore other areas in terms of visuals and being able to trigger visuals for myself and create these interesting places that I can go with music, always involving the voice.
Yeah.
Because that's the center. That's the most. The thing that affects emotions most is the voice, and then to be able to introduce it to technology so that technology doesn't become cold and sterile.
That's great. Do you find that working with students, is this kind of a natural thing for them, or are you introducing them to something that's kind of like foreign? Do they feel very connected?
It's natural to them, and when I say to them, "Oh, I'd like to take my voice and put it through my toe," they go, "Oh yeah, let's see. I think we can do that. I think that's possible."
Oh wow.
Whereas with other people, it might be like, "Really? Why would you do that?" So that's what I like about working with the students there, and especially the young students who are into robotics, because that's the other thing that I'm very interested in, and being able to, build my own instruments, or using Raspberry Pi to, and I don't mean a pie that you eat, but, to be able to, program the things that I'm using.
Do you find that from working at school, is it mostly young men that are involved in robotics, or are there, so...
That's sadly so.
Is there anything that you can do to help put a female face to robotics and tech?
I'm trying really hard, and I think that was part of Larry Simpson, who's the provost at Berkeley. Part of his asking me to be an ambassador there was to work with the music ensemble, the budding music theater department they have, and then the electronic production and design department.
Nice.
To, because I went into classes there for in the EPD department, and there was, sometimes like one girl or one young lady, and so I've been building different things in terms of always collaborating with a young woman or a woman in what I do. And next September, during Word Rock Sword, myself and 2 other women are going to do a day-long symposium on technology and music.
Oh, great.
And starting with, in the daytime, young kids, to introduce them. Hopefully children of color will come, introduce them to, there's a new technology that children can use called Little Bits.
Oh, nice.
And they can build, it's like Lego, but it's, you can make things move and...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
My nieces and nephews would love that.
Oh,
they
well,
love
they have to come.
That would be great.
So it would be daytime for them, then we would have a panel in the afternoon, and in the evening have a performance of multimedia performances.
Right. And for our audience, why don't you explain what is Word Rock Sword?
Oh, Word Rock Sword is an organization founded by Toshi Reagan.
Yay, Toshi.
Yes,
Go,
Toshi. We love Toshi.
We love Toshi.
And it's started 6 years ago, one evening of women coming together, performing. You get to do one song, so there's lots of women, and men are invited to come, but they don't perform. And some women read poetry. There's a host, just amazing, talented women. There's some dance, and it's in its 6th year, and now it's a week-long event all over the city in Manhattan and Brooklyn. People doing healing, food, nurturing of all kind, and then it culminates on the last night of the week, which is usually the 20th of September, in that realm, and it's the big blowout music, amazing night.
Great. Word Rock Sword. You can find it online.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes.
And you yourself have been, in addition to your work with technology and music, I've known you for a while, and you are always have your hands in a bunch of different pies, and you're developing musicals and different sorts of performance that incorporate music, but are performance-based, musical. Why don't you tell us about some of the things you have going on with that?
Well, I've been working with Charles Randolph Wright, the director of Motown, the musical. He wasn't that when we started working, but that happened, which is amazing, and it just opened in London last night, which is fantastic. And it's coming back to New York this summer.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
And Charles and I have been working on a cyber mystery musical, which is really like a rock opera, somewhat autobiographical about me, the main character, and then there's this, because it's a cyber mystery musical, it goes off into some of the ideas, because I'm a sci-fi fan from way back, Buster Crabbe with his little spaceship shaking across the screen. And this is a young girl who is a scientist, and she writes the ultimate code, which is a code that allows people to harvest memories, and the government wants it. And we have a story there, a mystery that happens. And
can you tell us what it's called?
It's called Skin Diver. Based on the record Skin Diver,
which I might.
And it has
Look what I have here, people.
Yes, you have it. And yes, many of the songs come from that record, with additional songs that I've written for the show. So that's Skin Diver, which we've been working on for quite some time, and we've had readings and workshops.
I've been to a couple of the readings; they've been great.
Yes,
and you've had amazing performers come in.
And
do them with you. It's morphed. I'm sure it's morphed quite a bit since I've seen the last one. But I mean,
now I think we have the right story. We've got
that's
pretty awesome. Right. The music has been there, but it was getting the story right was the hard part.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. And Parallel Lives is the other. It's not really a musical, but it's. I was asked to create something for the centennial of Billie Holiday, which was last year. She was 100 years of her birthday. And Harlem Stage asked me to do something. And I was kind of at a loss, because it took me a long time to get to Billie Holiday in my life.
And you covered Strange Fruit on your last album.
I did cover it. It took me that long to get to Billie Holiday that I only just covered something.
Covered it,
And so... in researching Billie Holiday, I discovered that Edith Piaf was born in the same year, 6 months later, in December. And then I was looking at their stories, and their stories of their lives were so parallel that that's what happened. I created this piece called Parallel
As women,
Lives.
as artists?
As their lives at their birth, they both were, Edith was abandoned by her mother at birth. Her father left her with his, because he was a street performer, a circus performer, left her with his mother who ran a brothel. She was basically raised by prostitutes, and then was singing in the street, was discovered, became successful, became the voice of her generation.
Wow.
Fell in love with someone who's married. He died trying to come to her because she wanted him to get there. His plane crashed. And she took to a lot of drinking and pills and died at 54, I think it was. And Billy's story is very similar in terms of she was abandoned. Her father left her and her mother. Her mother left her in a house of prostitution.
Wow.
She became a prostitute. She, trying to earn a living, she went to try and get a job as a dancer. Couldn't dance. Somebody asked her, could she sing? She said, well, maybe. And she did. And, you know, she became the voice of her generation. Yeah. So they're on two different continents. There are these two people who came from nothing. You would expect them not to ever be anything, not even to survive. And they became the voices of their generation.
Icons and...
Icons. And they influenced singers still
to this day, absolutely.
You know, so they're, and Billy died at 44, I think it was. So they both died very young, and their lives, so that's where the Parallel Lives came from. And it's a piece that involves a story primarily wrapped around their music. And there are different women, Women of the World, which is a cappella group from Boston, and one is Japanese, one is Italian, one is African, and one is Indian.
They've performed with you.
They performed with me.
Yes, I've seen them. They're amazing.
And they are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
And then you have Adako, who's an amazing dancer who interprets a couple of the numbers. Oh, what's her name? Who does the La Vie en Rose, and she's in it as well. Okay. Tamar Kali.
Oh, Tamar, she's great too.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
So you have this woman who's more like a Nina Simone kind of look, but then she sings Namakitapa, which is beautifully done, almost a cappella, and then she sings La Vie en Rose, playing as rock guitar. You know, it's there. I've pulled together or curated some amazing people, and we have a string quartet, and who else? There's somebody else. Oh, Lisa Jessie Peterson has been the narrator, telling the story, holding the story together.
So is this a performance that travels?
It is a performance that travels. We
pull it, you do it and put it away, and then bring it back again. Is that how?
We take it wherever people want us to come.
Okay.
You know, when people are available. And there's also Joey Arias.
Right.
Who I've known since he was performing in the window at Fiorucci years ago.
Yes, we love Joey. As a matter of fact, I asked Joey about you before I came here, and he gave me a beautiful quote about you, which I'm going to read, if you don't mind.
No.
Joey says about you, Nona is a musical genius. Her generosity is overflowing. She pushes the boundaries. She has no age, and sharing is like feeding the soul. Her contributions to musicians and artists, painters, is a gift from God, inspiring, and she walks and talks and sings. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. He told me to tell you how much he loves you and adores you.
Absolutely.
Head to toe.
Yes, we share dressing rooms.
Yes, Joey's amazing. He's absolutely gorgeous.
They're the people who people Parallel Lives, and I'm going to introduce another character on the next iteration, because there's a younger voice who's gone through the same parallel.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
And you are also an author.
Yeah.
You do a lot. You
well,
do
I've been around a while.
You do a lot. No,
Yes.
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You're an author. You've written a children's book called The Brownies.
The Brownies.
Tell us about it.
I wrote it quite a while ago because I have so many nieces and nephews, and growing up, you know, at Christmas time, I would go shopping, buy presents, buy all kinds of stuff, and I like to buy them things that would help nurture their minds, not just, you know, eye candy. And I couldn't find the kind of books that I wanted for them in any of the bookstores.
It can be difficult.
Yeah, and especially books that represented the color that they were and things that they dealt with. And so I started writing The Brownies, and it's about darkness and how the value that's placed on darkness, and a lot of times the value is a negative, that you know, darkness or black is a negative, whereas white is a positive. And that alone, as information to a child, is misleading. And I wanted to, so I started with the night, because the night, if we didn't have the night, we'd die. In the same way as we didn't have the sun, we would die. We need to sleep. We have to sleep, and the night allows us to sleep. And the stars are there for a reason. And all the things, the earth is dark. We need the earth. That's where our food comes from. So I wanted to write these songs, and I drew cartoon, coloring book, things that the kids could color in the colors that they wanted. And it tells a story of a sister and a brother, what they think about before they go to sleep and who they are. And then there's one kid who's like the bad kid, and you know, and there's one section about the New You hair salon where the girls go in and get their hair done, and they jump rope and it's that kind of thing.
Is it available?
It is not available, but it will be.
Okay, that's great.
Yes. If enough people write in saying that they want to have another run of my book, I will.
And you have some performances coming up. There's some really great performances that you have coming up.
Yes,
so why don't you tell our audience about what is on deck for Nona?
Yes, next week. So this may be not in this one, but next week I'm doing one of my multimedia performances at the National Sawdust Theater, and it's for an organization called A Longhouse, and it's their winter benefit and event. Then I'm organizing with the Black Rock Coalition for April 4th, a celebration fundraiser for Bernie Worrell, one of the founding members of P-Funk with George Clinton and Bootsy Collins and Gary Scheider and many of the P-Funk people, the Brides of Funkenstein.
In April at Webster Hall.
At Webster Hall. And a lot of those names will be there, as well as who else? A Living Color will be doing it. Questlove from The Roots, Jerry Harrison from the Talking Heads. We're hoping that David will come. He's talking about coming. And it's a great lineup, so just go look at the website, buy tickets, come out. It's going to be a crazy, funky,
it sounds
off
fun,
the chain,
fun.
Tear the roof off the sucker night.
Tear the roof off.
Honoring Bernie, because, you know, we do memorials all the time for people. And this was about letting someone know how important they were to the music history, that hip-hop, in a way, wouldn't have music if P-Funk and what Bernie did not happen, right? So I wanted him to know.
He is an architect of the music that we still listen to today, for sure.
Yes, and
absolutely.
So it's that, and also to help raise funds to help with his medical expenses for he has cancer. And
That's great. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
You've been in the music business and have seen and done quite a bit.
Yeah.
For an artist these days, whether it's music or visual, the landscape for the business end of being a part of art tends to change under our feet. What kind of advice would you recommend to a new, like a singer or a new band or a visual artist that really wants to have their art go out into the world, but maybe might not know the kind of pitfalls or the things to look out for as far as the business stuff? Because things seem to consistently change.
Yes,
like
consistently
on the
change.
Hour.
Exactly. That's the oxymoron in the music business or in the art world. I think it's really if you have a great passion for what it is that you do, I think you have to really find out whether that's, and I think how you find that out is by going out and doing, right? And if an audience gravitates towards you because they feel or see or hear that thing that they need that feeds their soul, then you know that you have something. Coupled with that is to work as hard as you can to understand the business that you're in. And it wouldn't hurt to take a little business course so you can actually count and calculate and, you know, do a spreadsheet and things like that and learn
naivete doesn't play
percentages
well right now.
and no, I mean it doesn't hurt to do that.
Yeah.
You know, what's most important is your talent and your art and your ability. And the other thing is to surround yourself with good people. And people, what I mean by good people, it's not like the biggest name or the whatever in terms of, but it's people who really, really care about you and what you do, who are almost more passionate about what you do than you are, because they're the ones who are going to be, you know, they're going to call people and go, you should hear this person, you should see this person. They'll take people with them to see you and hear you. They'll build a little, you know, crew of following and bring people to add to you. That's what I would say to do.
Great. Yeah, as an artist manager, I can definitely attest to that. I've been on the front lines and I've got the battle scars to prove it. But the beauty of it is that when things do come to fruition, it makes it all worth it. And also being independent, as you have been, and you operate in a lot of different fields in that, you get to see the fruits of your labor even more in a bigger and almost more beautiful way when things do come together. It's amazing. Are there any artists out right now that you are just like, wow, they're amazing? Like who would you recommend to our audience?
Oh, well, I mean, we said Toshi Reagan, how fabulous she is. Then Esperanza Spalding is just brilliant.
Nice.
You know, she's magical. And so
she's been sprinkled with that.
Yeah, she's got that. Yeah,
that
she
thing.
has it. Laura Mabula.
Yeah, we love her.
I love her work. From the very first thing that I heard, I think it was called She. And there's this guy that I think is now being discovered by everybody. I think his last name is Clementine. His first name
Benjamin.
is Benjamin.
Who has a very similar tone to Nina Simone-esque thing. Yeah,
but
really, really.
Not even so much his voice. What I like is that he is different.
He's definitely doing his own thing.
Yeah, in the same way as, different from Seal, but in that kind of Seal thing. But he also, I see it more as someone who is raw and not trying to be really like anybody else.
Yeah, it's definitely an original and unique sound and perspective, and you don't get the sense that he is trying to make a record to please any specific genre or you know, and a lot of people, and that's why I also like this one. I'm a huge fan of Laura's as well, because she's totally kind of doing her thing, and you can hear all the different influences that are coming in. So between her classical training and her African background, and it's like it's pretty amazing. Do you like Brittany Howard from Alabama Shakes?
Yes, I do. I do. I mean, when I first saw them quite a while ago, it was like, wow, that's powerful, you know, and she's very powerful in what they have to say, and in terms of that she's jamming her guitar and rocking, and but she's got the soul, she's got the power, and again, not really doing what somebody else is doing. There are similarities, but it's coming from a kind of quirkier place, which I love.
Well, it makes me feel, having been a fan of your music for so long, it makes me feel like they're standing on your shoulders, because I see a little bit of what they do, and really? Kind of your musical tapestry over the years. Absolutely, 100%. Okay. It's very it's nice.
No wonder I like it.
That's why. Of course you like. Sounds like me.
Yes.
Speaking of musicians, I have one last thing. I was made a couple calls around, and I want to read a quote about you from
with my peoples.
I am checking with your peoples, and to let you know how much you are loved out there and are inspiring and inspired for different artists. Carl Hancock Rux, who we love, and
yes, we do.
He's an amazing artist and brilliant poet, musician, actor, everything.
Historian.
Yes. Yeah, he's totally Renaissance man.
Renaissance, 100%. Indeed, yes.
Yeah. He says, for more than half a century, Nona has used her voice and her musical writing talents to open windows and speak to everything that is eternally human, and to use her gift with passion, wisdom, fearlessness, and joy. So often, history's short memory tends to give credit to men who have changed the world. They overlook women who have sung backup, background, lead, who have authored, co-authored, produced, and penned some of the most important songs ever recorded, as well as developed, managed, mentored, and influenced some of the most important artists to ever take the stage. Nona is a force that many have studied and are still trying to imitate. She's done everything there is to do in this industry, and she's still looking for new ways to do them. She contributes to the world and gives her art freely. But Nona embodies the concept of artistic integrity, innovation, and durability.
I thought that was going to be a couple of lines. And I love the rock band coming in.
I love it too. I was going to try to do it on beat.
It's right.
It says, yeah.
Perfect. Yes. Absolutely.
That was totally
in keeping.
Totally. Please keep it. All good. Yeah. For our audience, Nona has had an illustrious career over the last 5+ decades. If somebody wants to know more about your music, more about your philanthropy, as an author, as a tech geek, where should they reach out to you?
www.nonahendryx.com.
There you have it.
And they'll find it. They'll find all the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Vimeo, Vine, Periscope. Awesome. They'll find it all there.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Bill Coleman, and it's been a pleasure having Nona Hendryx here on the Artist Forum. I know, we could talk for hours. We didn't even get to the good stuff.
Maybe even days. Yes.
My name is Bill Coleman. Thank you again for joining us here on the Artist Forum, and our special guest, Nona Hendryx. Good night.
Hi, I'm Haley Chancellor, a volunteer with the Artist Forum.
And I'm Elliot Torres, host of the Artist Forum's television program, AFTV. We're here on set to tell you about our latest endeavor, the Artist Forum Festival of the Moving Image.
This new film festival is a major endeavor for the Artist Forum, one we believe will greatly impact both underserved artists and the New York City arts community as a whole.
The Artist Forum Festival of the Moving Image is a competitive program open worldwide to filmmakers of all levels, seeking to gain exposure in New York City's international market. With your help, this film festival will be a great platform to invigorate our city's cultural scene.
Live screenings of the top entries will be showcased this spring at a theater in New York City, followed by a panel discussion, Q&As, and many other fun-filled surprises leading up to our after-party and award ceremony.
While the Artist Forum strives to be financially independent, we need your help to make our inaugural film festival a terrific success.
Recognition for your generosity will be acknowledged in a variety of ways, In return for your support, we are offering numerous perks and public acknowledgement of your generosity.
Since we are a 501c3, your donations are fully tax deductible. Please help us continue our support of independent filmmakers by making a donation to fund the Artists Forum Festival of the Moving Image. And please consider also sharing your support with others by encouraging friends, family, and your social media networks to donate as well.
On behalf of everyone at the Artists Forum, we'd like to thank you for your support.
We look forward to having you join us in discovering the latest in unique and innovative filmmaking this spring at our festival in New York City.